Said, come on, baby. This place that I really want to know how you feel. Now when my same for never, things round and change. I said, to
Hey everybody, welcome to Wiregrass Haunts. This is your host, Mr. Stan Fikes. I'm here with my awesome co-host, Miss Trista Yates. Are you there, Trista?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yay.
So how you been today?
Today's been good. We did wedding crafting.
Wedding crafting. I'm sorry, I'm not into weddings.
That's okay.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. But I'm glad you're having a good day. Good day. So have you prepared for the show?
Yes. I've been doing a lot of preparing.
Good, good. I've tried to, but I've had to work all week, and things have just not gone like I wanted to go. So, but we're going to give it a fling. So, well, I wanted to say, starting off, that Wiregrass Haunts is a new show. We've created this show for mainly in the Wiregrass, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. But we welcome everybody. Any type of input or anything like that, you guys are welcome to get in the chat room and ask us questions. Just talk with us. Web group is the one that has basically put Wiregrass Haunts together. Isn't that right, Trista?
That's right. That's right. You guys did awesome.
Well, us as a group, we just think that this was something that was needed in the Wiregrass area. I've had people ask me all the time that, why do people look down on me for believing in the paranormal and stuff like that? And that's another reason why I wanted to create this group, so no one could be picked on or looked down upon or anything like that.
Yeah, we live in Alabama, and there's a lot of people here who don't believe in it, and they believe that everybody else should not believe as well. Exactly.
And you know as well as I do, since you've been on investigations, that there's stuff out there we can't explain.
Absolutely.
And that's why this whole paranormal creation is going on.
Right.
Sorry, Teresa was showing me a note, and I kind of lost track, but
we don't have Matt in there, do we?
I don't know. Message him and see if he can get in the chat room. But anyway, that was the main reason that we had created this show, is so people have a place to come and not feel like people are going to point fingers at them and stuff like that. So have you anything to add, Trista?
I think it's a really good thing that we need around this area, because not only are there people who do believe, but there are people who are also interested in it, and they kind of need an outlet. You know, they need people to talk to and people who understand what they're dealing with and going through, and explain to them how to fix the situation that they have going on.
Right. Exactly. Um, well, we kind of we've got things started off really good, so maybe people can. And I've had a lot of contacts asking when the show's going to start and stuff like that. So here we are, and we invite people to get in the chat room and like I said, ask questions and stuff like that. I wanted to explain a little bit why we created Web Paranormal Group. There's a lot of people that need help, and they're actually scared to ask because of ridicule or people thinking they're crazy or whatever. And so Teresa and I, when we come up with the idea of Web Paranormal Group, it was with that in mind that people have a group that they can call. They would just want to talk or have an investigation to where, you know, hey, come see what's going on, and you know somebody's going to look. So, and when Miss Joanna Coleman and Chris Wood, when they decided they wanted to join up with us, it was just we became a big family. And so now, Trista, that you and Michelle, and all the others are with us, we've become a massive group, and thing is just going along.
It's blossoming very well.
Yes, it is. It sure is. And we got contacted today about an investigation, and of course, you know, Teresa and I went Monday to Florala to talk to some people about an investigation, which that occurs on the 26th. So we're getting more and more and more stuff coming in. So it's kind of like I told Teresa, it's just blew up into a big flower.
That's good though. The more people who know about us, the more people we can help.
Absolutely. I agree. And and that's exactly what we're here for. So, you know, anybody out there that's listening, y'all need any help or have any issues, just want to talk, we are here. Y'all contact us. And I'm kind of going over my notes here. I apologize for all the noise, but so how many members do we actually have, Trista?
I think we've got about 13.
13. Well, that's a pretty large group. Now, of course, we took a bunch of us showed up at Harrison Cemetery a couple Saturdays ago, and that was a great showing for that investigation.
And there were a lot of people there. Unfortunately, we weren't able to attend, but I did listen to the lives, watch the Facebook, and I was there with y'all in spirit while y'all were talking to spirit.
Oh, I know. And of course, having James and Blaine there, that was.
I know.
We got a lot of background noise, don't we?
A lot of noise.
I'm not even sure where that's coming from.
I don't know. It's not me.
No, not me either. But anyway, with Jerry Timms and Blaine Rowan at Harrison Cemetery, you know, that just kind of completed the investigation. We really want to thank those guys for coming out and helping. It sounds like somebody's got a radio or a TV on in the background. Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
I can too. I don't know if I'm really on.
Hey, I hear you.
Hey, yeah.
I can hear you.
It's Vera.
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 Hey,
Okay,
Vera,
good,
how are you?
Pretty good. We're sitting outside the karate place, picking up their Wi-Fi for the moment.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God for free Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome. So we were going to talk a little bit about Harrison tonight, about Harrison Cemetery. I told Teresa that I was going to try to get Jerry and Blaine to come on with us tonight, and I didn't get a chance to get a hold of them. Ooh, got some feedback. Everybody still with me?
I'm still here.
Yes.
I'm still here.
Okay, awesome. I don't know. Okay. Shawana, are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me, honey?
Yes, absolutely. Zach, are you with us? Okay, I don't hear Zach.
Yeah, me neither.
We'll come back to him. I wasn't able to get a hold of Dustin either. So why don't we start off, Trista? If you want to start, telling us a little bit about our members and.
Okay. A little bit about the members. We've got myself. I am the photographer for the group, and I do the investigating as well. Been doing this since I went to Poly with you guys last year in October and joined in November. So I've been on almost every investigation since, and I love it. And then there's Stan. He's the lead investigator that when stuff doesn't go right, we all turn to him and ask him to fix it. He is the director and the co-founder. And then we got Shawana. She's a co-founder. She's the spiritual guru and education director. To explain what you do. Shawana?
Wow.
I can't hear anything, sweetie. It's really bad noise.
Yeah, it sounds like a popcorn machine going off.
Yeah, it does. Why don't you take a few minutes, Shawana, and just kind of explain what you do for the group?
Well, I'm a stripper down at the Kit Kat Club, and I raise money for the group to buy merchandise. That's what I do. I have to go down there and raise money to buy the equipment that we use.
Wow.
No, I am. First of all, I'm Shawana. I am one of the, as Teresa said, I'm one of the co-founders. I am in charge of educating, and I do come in and do the house cleansing if need be. I'm over doing residential investigations, whereas Stan, our fierce leader, and his lovely wife Teresa, they do more of our, big businesses things and get those together. I just try to do whatever it is that I make everybody be okay with their situations.
You do a really good job too. We really appreciate you and your help.
Thank you, honey. And I only strip once a month, not every Friday and Saturday. Okay? I don't want to give myself a bad reputation. I have grandkids. Yes.
Wow. then we've got Miss Teresa. She's the co-founder. She's the marketing manager for the group. She runs everything online, the web page, the Facebook, the fan page, all that. She heads up the research team for the group as well. And she cooks some pretty mean chili. If y'all ever want some, just hit her up and she will hook you up.
Amen. Amen. I second that.
That's fine, buddy.
That's a hint for Friday, Teresa. The hint for Friday.
Friday.
Bring the
Yeah.
chili.
Okay.
It's not a potluck, just chili.
Just chili.
So I need to bring my big cannon pots, right, full of chili.
Right.
Yes. Let the Lord use you.
We've got Michelle. She's a pretty new member. She's doing what she can right now. She's part of the camera crew, working on learning how to run things and the monitors, and she pretty much just stays outside and helps stand out to let us know whenever there's something going on that we're not seeing right in front of us.
That's right.
And we got Zachariah. He's on the marketing team, and he's on the tech team as well. He runs the cameras and the lines and holds the cameras while we're doing all the dirty work. And he's an investigator in training so that he can help us do the dirty work. We got Dustin. He's on the camera crew too, and he's investigator in training. And we've got Michael. She's the accountant for the group. She's on research team and investigator in training. I never met a woman named Michael, but y'all, she's cool. I'm just saying. And then we've got Matt. He's on the tech team as well, and he's an investigator in training too. We've got Miss Vera. She does the investigations with us, and she's on the camera crew, and she's been on a couple investigations. She rocks out with the rest of us. We've got Tiagra. She's another investigator in the support crew. She does a lot of the research and that kind of thing that we need to know what we're walking into. We've got Laura. She's in training. I think she's our newest member. And then we've got Amanda. She's an empath investigator. She feels a lot, and she has no problem telling us that it isn't a good place to be. And her mom, Miss Judy, she's a high sensitive investigator, and she's got real strong gifts as well. And she lets us know too, y'all, I got to get out for a minute, and then she comes back in and joins with the rest of us.
Hey, Krista,
Yes, sir.
I have something to interject here. I was looking in the chat room.
Okay.
And there was somebody saying chicken bone and mucky dust. Do you know what that is?
That's Tina. She does that sometimes to be funny.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody was hexing me or something, you know? Chicken bone and monkey dust. Wow.
That's just saying somebody else already has. She's counteracting it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Right. I'm sorry. I seen that and I had to say something that was just funny. Hi, Tina. Chicken bone and monkey dust. I'll remember that. You'll probably hear me repeat that.
Okay, we hear that a lot too, by the way. Michelle and I, we get that a lot.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So did we leave out anybody, or I know I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
We forgot Stan.
No,
Trista, Stan.
Oh, you can forget me all you want. I'm just here to blame when stuff goes wrong. So
we've got Chris as well. He lives over in Mobile, so he hasn't been to any investigations in a while. We're trying to get him back.
Oh yeah. My brother.
Yes, come back home, Chris. Come back home.
Yes, he's technically our tech manager. So our equipment manager. He does such a great job.
He helps with security too.
Oh yeah. Don't mess with Chris, that's for sure. But as far as Chris goes, all I have to do is say, Chris, I need, and all the equipment's hooked up and it's placed, and he's just an awesome member of the group. And and he has missed a lot. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
So we've covered everybody. We kind of want to skip me per se. I'm just a big mouth for the group. But let's talk about a little bit about investigate. And the investigation at Harrison Cemetery. We're going to touch a little bit on it, but here in a couple of weeks, RIP is going to be our guest, and we'll go a little more in depth then. So you said that Trista, you said that you seen it live on Facebook, and also you heard the live broadcast that we done.
Right.
Did you? And I know that you're as sensitive as well. Did you pick up on things that was going on at the cemetery, or?
I could feel that there was definitely some energy. I watched the videos on my couches, and even before y'all started talking about it, as soon as it come on, I was like, yeah, they're having a lot of fun tonight with the full moon as well. So that really helped out too.
Oh yeah, and Blaine come in with Spirit Box, and we were getting a lot of positive results with the Spirit Box. A lot of things that we didn't hear the last time that we actually investigated Harrison Cemetery.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and for people that are just joining us or don't know, William Harrison, he is one of Alabama's 13 ghosts. He's in the book Alabama 13 Ghosts and Jeffrey. So he's a pretty well-known ghost, especially around Kinston, Alabama. But he liked to party and dance. So that kind of helped us out with the investigation, because I think when we started playing the music, things started ramping up. So
Right.
yeah, so we try to use these trigger objects and stuff whenever we investigate. And it just so happened that "The Devil's Dream" is his favorite song, and that was the song that we played on the opener, was "The Devil's Dream."
Oh, okay.
So we were actually standing at the truck, and when Teresa went to play in "Devil's Dream," we started getting K2 hits almost immediately.
Oh yeah, he wanted Teresa to dance with him.
He was mine.
Yeah, Shawana and Michael done a good job at dancing.
Yes, they did.
Isn't that right, Shawana?
Well, I like to twerk something every now and then, Stan. So if he needed that for, as long as he been down there, I got something for him.
His wife was fine.
Well, now, I was talking to her. She seemed like she didn't have no problem with the whole situation.
Well, so is that part of the dance thing that you do at the club?
I don't club. I just go dance in the graveyard from time to time. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I do in my spare time. I karaoke and I dance in the graveyard. I never heard nobody boo me. I haven't heard a boo since I've been out there.
So when we take a trip to New Orleans, you gonna go dance with Marie Laveau?
Oh, Lord.
Look, I would pay to see that.
With Laveau.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, if Dustin was on, he could tell you about some of the positive stuff that he had to happen to him at Harrison Cemetery.
Right.
He was touched a couple of times, I think, and I think he had his name called. So it was kind of a positive experience for him. Kind of surprising to him, I think.
I think honestly, being in a graveyard on a full moon, you shouldn't be surprised by what comes at you.
Well, that's true. And normally, I, I had always had a problem going into a graveyard and doing an investigation. Okay, because I've never really known a spirit to haunt a cemetery. I mean, why would they haunt a cemetery? I mean, unless But anyway, um, that was a little different situation simply because he he basically had his bed put in the grave. Um, he had a building built around his tomb, so he was anyway. So I think that's why he's so into partying. So, but I wish you and uh, so
We have a couple
my
questions in the chat room.
Mister, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, I'm sorry. There's a lot of background noise and I didn't hear you.
We've got a couple questions in the chat room if you want to go ahead and answer them.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that.
We've got Sarah. She says, so I see that y'all have some new members. Can you tell me how important it is that everyone understands the empaths on the crew while you're investigating?
Wow.
Can you repeat that question, please, Trista?
She said, I see you have some new members in the group. Can you tell me how important it is that everyone understands the empaths on the crew while you're investigating?
Joanna, you going to answer that?
Well, I believe with our group, we all feel like we're all equally important. We respect each other's gift. We are very understanding to what each other does. Those that are empaths, those that are sensitive, those that are psychic, or those that have no gift at all, they're all treated and understood equally. That's my input on the answer.
Awesome.
We all put into the investigation.
Yeah, exactly. We do lead off sometimes the empaths that's in the group. Like, for instance, when we were at Poly Jail, and I asked you, in fact, to go through Poly Jail and tell me what you felt and where you felt it.
Right.
So we tend to lead off the empaths and the sensitive in the group more so. It's a tool. I mean, I know that sounds bland, but it is really a tool that we use on our investigation.
Right. I think this would be a really bad area to not take into account what the sensitives are feeling.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Plus, we're not a judgmental group. We welcome everybody that can play a part to the group. We are a family in our group. No one. Some have greater gifts than others, and we respect that. And we all play our individual role and let those that can do better do better.
Right.
Absolutely. There's ways when we go into an investigation that we like to set up things so we can pull information from our sensitives and empaths. And in fact, my wife helps me a lot with that, and she kind of coordinates that with me. But our sensitives in our group are just unbelievable. Some of the things that they have come to acknowledge that was on the investigations, and information that they actually got on the investigation that we couldn't uncover when we were doing our research. So that's why they're so important to have people like that on a paranormal team.
Right.
without that, you're kind of banging on closed doors, don't you think?
Right.
Yes.
Sarah said, that's what I meant, not to say that everyone does not have an important part of the investigation. I just meant when an empath or sensitive says, hey, it's time to go, do you follow their direction? Or do you use another member of the group and try to figure out why they're feeling that way?
Can I answer that?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Baby, we get the hell up out of there. If them sensitive and empaths get to talking, honey, we have to get the hell up out of there, sweetheart. Yes, honey, we leave. We don't try to have a group meeting. It's time to go.
Right.
When I say we respect each other, we respect each other.
Right.
Yes, and I'm going to bounce back on that as well. We do respect their decision. If one of them tells me, if I'm in the lead, and one of my guys tell me, hey, it's not safe. It's not safe in here. I do pull everybody out, and we kind of regroup. Not to say that we leave the investigation or give up by any means. At that point, we just go in a different direction and try to figure things out that that might be pertinent to why that investigator is feeling, or the empath or sensitive is feeling that way.
Right.
And because there's a reason, of course. And so if we can keep that energy positive and listen to them, and that's why I say that their ability is a tool. And so yes, we do listen to our investigators whenever they have a feeling it's time to go. So sorry, people are sending messages but, all day long. It's been pretty crazy. But in fact, talking about investigations and empath, when we were at Pauley Jail, there was a lady that came to the ghost tour. She actually was a sensitive in her own right. She told us of things, individual things that happened within the jail, and that not just an outsider would know. Only people that had investigated the jail, because a lot of that we didn't put public.
Right.
We only gave a certain amount of information to the public, simply due to the fact that it's a privacy thing, to some of those inmates and that type of thing.
Right.
But this lady, she was right on mark with some of it. So you never can tell who's standing next to you, so to speak. So you do learn to listen. Sure do. So is there any more questions?
Miss Tina, Chicken Bone Monkey Dust.
Chicken Bone Monkey Dust. All right.
She asks if we foresee any expansion further than Alabama.
Yes.
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 You're talking about investigations? Is that what?
Right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we go right on up there. Yeah.
It depends on our financial situation at the time.
Oh yeah. We're not going to run out the door, and we have to prepare for it. But yeah, we definitely look to do that even further out of Alabama.
Right. Right now we cover the Wiregrass. We cover Florida, Alabama, and Georgia. And we've got an investigation coming up in Georgia this fall that I'm really looking forward to.
That's right.
Yes.
And we also, if somebody calls us and we can't make that trip, then I'm going to get on the phone to people that I know that has groups as well that I trust, and I'm going to, if I can't get them some help that way.
Right.
So it's a collaboration of groups, and I've heard a lot of people hashing this together, and we can learn something from each other, and so I try to include everybody I can whenever that investigation is it's kind of out of our reach, so to speak.
Right. We've got a whole network of people. It's not just us.
Oh, absolutely, and in fact, we're working along with Nathan Levan and his group about building, I guess you would call it an association in Alabama. Nathan is awesome at that type of thing, and he's going to put it together where it will ultimately benefit the state of Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, because they can call for help, so to speak. Like back when I was in the fire services, we used to call for mutual aid. This is the same way.
Right.
And, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. And
We got a lot of background noise.
yes, I don't know where that's coming from.
That's just the spirits. They're just letting us know that they're here. They're welcoming the show. They feel comfortable with us. So that's how we're going to take this tonight.
We don't want them to feel too comfortable, Shawana.
I know, but they just, they're just saying welcome the best way they can. We might have to put on a spirit box so we can just really hear them.
That would be interesting.
Awesome. Shawana, you are prepared tonight.
Yes, sir.
You are prepared.
Well, Stan, if you knew what I had to go through today, yes, I'm gonna say a little something. I got a phone call since I've been on this radio show, and Lord, I'm just praying. Y'all pray for me because it's been a good night. Whew. It's been a blessing to be part of such a wonderful group of supported family members. That's how I look at my group. We're all family members, and we all cover each other and have each other's back.
Right. Exactly.
Y'all are all second family to me.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's the way we all feel, and we wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, we have to work closely with each other, and so we have to. Some of us we have to learn to like.
Right.
Y'all had to learn to like, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's a day that goes by that one of us isn't talking to the other one.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I kept telling y'all when y'all joined that I grow on people, so y'all just had to learn to like me. So
I knew that from a long time ago, Stan. I told Michelle I was going to call you your nickname, but I figure I'll hold off on that.
Yeah, I remember that nickname you used to call me. There was a bunch of people at the store called me. Yeah, okay. I'll tell everybody it was Butterbean.
Yeah, it was Butterbean.
So, but I think it was after that dude on TV. I'm not the smallest person, so and I like to think that I'm a real nice guy.
You are. You really are.
Ask my wife that sometime.
I'm not saying
So I hadn't heard anything from Laura. Miss Vera, are y'all there still?
I'm still here. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you fine. Yeah, actually.
Okay. It's been going in and out on my end a little bit.
Gotcha.
That's
So
why.
Miss Vera.
And I'm here too.
Okay, cool. Miss Vera, since you've been with the team, how do you like it?
I like it. I just wish I could get to the investigations more, but my work schedule and my babysitter is not real reliable as far as she works too. So it's all a matter of juggling schedules at this point until I retire. Plan.
lost you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I guess she went out, but we'll maybe she'll be back in a minute. And so Laura, is
Yeah.
My phone was ringing. I apologize. But I'm planning on retiring in August, so maybe after that I can make it to more investigations, which would be fun.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. We have such a good time at what we do, and on top of that, we get to help people, and we just have such a good time as a group. And Miss Vera, do you want to tell everybody how we met you?
It's gonna be fun.
You met me by doing an investigation on my crazy house and helping cleanse my house, which is really appreciated.
And I have to say, that's one of the most active places that I've been in a long time.
Right.
And, I hope that we've been able to help you kind of keep things at bay. I know that there's no running everything completely off by any means, but and we're just so proud to have you. And I think maybe we were led to do your investigation so you could join our team.
Right.
Maybe so. I'm really excited about the investigations. Really am. Especially going back to Poly Jail.
Yes.
Maybe I can get some more good pictures. Who knows?
So you did an awesome job. And everybody that's listening, Miss Vera, she was actually a tag along on our investigation at Poly Jail in Union Springs. And she took some still shots. The people were sleeping in these bunks and in the jail where all these hideous things had happened. And Miss Vera got some still shots that we put together. It appeared to be someone hanging, and it's pretty strange, but
and pretty graphic.
Yeah, and our fans
disturbing to find on my camera.
I can imagine that.
It was kind of odd when you sent that to me, and you're like, "Look what I found," and I'm like, "What is that?" And then when you animated it and put it together, I'm like, "Oh my God, what is that?" And it looked just like somebody was being hanged.
Exactly.
But
it was crazy.
But you
don't know if it happened because I don't know if it happened because I asked the night before, "Are you?" When we were in the one cell, I said, "Are you somebody that got hanged?"
You were actually in a cell where somebody was hanged.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And he was on the 3rd floor too. It was on the top, so there was nobody above her either.
No. Well, that was the picture. The pictures were taken on the 2nd floor, so it had to be coming down from the 3rd floor.
From the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Tristan, do you see that in the chat room?
About the weenie dog?
Yeah, it's a ghost.
I do. He I've been there and I've heard stories. He's absolutely still in her house there with her.
My goodness. Well,
He wasn't quite ready to leave her.
I'm sorry that you lost your weenie dog. But I think it's kind of cool that it come back to stay with you. I really do. That's pretty awesome. I'm sorry, that was another thing that caught my eye. A weenie dog with a ghost.
There are some places, and I forgot exactly what it is. Maybe some of y'all out there could remind me. But I think it's on Pond Road somewhere that there's a German Shepherd that was killed in an accident, and they say that you can see that apparition of that dog at a certain time.
Absolutely.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's outside Hartford.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I forget exactly the name of the road, but it is kind of freaky. Now, of course, we used to live in Hartford, and there's just weird stuff that goes on in Hartford, y'all. I mean, it don't matter where you go. There's just
Yes.
weird stuff that goes on in Hartford.
Right, Shawana?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I grew up in Hartford.
Oh.
Yes.
I did
I won't elaborate right now, but if you want me to, I can.
Sure, go right ahead.
Well, I grew up in Hartford, and oh, that's a picture of my grandson. Sorry. Uh, that was my little Lex Luthor, my little grandbaby, and my oldest grandson name is Jay. I just thought I'd throw that out there. But growing up in Hartford, we lived at 201 North 3rd Avenue on this big house. It was a really big white house, and it was built by slaves. And growing up, surprisingly, the woman that lived there years ago name was Miss Coleman, although Miss Coleman was white and we're very much black. But they thought that she might have still was in the house because the back of the house, the ceilings were low. It just had a warmer feeling. But you went through this door to what we call it was the living room because we sat in a place called the den.
Right.
But you went through the door, you went through the living room, and then the dining room, which was, it was a very large dining room with the very high ceilings, and in the kitchen and in the porch, we had a very big screening porch. The whole house was like two different houses. And
Right.
the funny part is, having three older sisters, we all had different experiences, but at the time we just never talked about it, even though my mother was the type of person that she would have not, she would have believed us. Now, my dad, on the other hand, probably would not have, but my mom would have. She would have, because we've seen certain things. When my uncle got ready to pass, I saw the tall man with the broad shoulders, go in his room. And my mother looked at me and she said, "You saw him?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "I saw him too." And of course, my older sister, I won't say her name on the radio, screamed like a banshee. And I think that scared us, Spirit, my Uncle Walter, who was dying. I think it scared the Archangel Gabriel and all of them. I think it scared God himself because she has a screeching cry. Scream. But every one of us had our own individual, different type of experience in the house that, since we've been older, that we've talked about. And then recently, I shared it with the group with my nephew going down. I think that would be 4th Avenue, like where the peanut mill is. The woman that walks across the street, she's blowing and she just kind of slides across the street to the woods. And people that live in those housing authorities, they've seen her as well. So, yeah, Stan, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in Hartford. Can't argue with that.
I have to add in now, if anybody ever wants to visit these areas to see this stuff, please get permission.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
And we do not, I would say this, we do not go anywhere without permission. We do not.
Even abandoned places, it ain't happening.
No, it's not happening at all. I could see a bunch of paranormal investigators jacked up in jail because they trespassed on something there. Not happening with us.
Yeah,
Spirit told me to do it.
Well, he held boat cutters. But no, we have to get permission. And but yes, there's some strange stuff that goes on in Hartford. That's for sure.
There's some strange stuff that goes on in all three of these states.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. In Northwest Florida, there's a lot of stuff that goes on there, and you just don't hear about it every day simply because it's kind of a community thing.
Right.
People within the community, they don't really share a lot of stuff down around Graceful and Bonifay and places like that. You have to kind of be within that community for them to talk with you. And I actually experienced a situation down there myself where I was with the fire service there, and we were called on a wreck. and unfortunately, there was a person that didn't that survived the accident. Well, several weeks later, we went down the same road on en route to another incident, and the two guys that were with me, along with myself, seen this same person that was in the accident standing beside the road, and we thought, well, honestly, I thought I was going nuts. Yeah, it was just a crazy thing. And then when I asked the other guys, I said, "Did you guys see that?" And they all, yeah, they were all in that. Yeah, we seen that. Didn't that the guy that died? And I said, yeah, that was the guy that died. So, uh,
Wow.
Ooh.
yeah, we actually called some people we knew in that area to see if they had seen anything, and some of them they told us they had never seen anything. So, and then we'd never seen that again. So I don't know if it
Maybe he was just there letting y'all know he was all right.
maybe so, and but it was it's one of those things that'll make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. But now we're running around looking for them.
Right? Wow, times change.
Yeah, yeah. And Teresa's shaking her head. No, we don't. Well, no, we. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. We investigate um, sightings, people that told us they've seen things. We don't ghost hunt
Right.
by any means.
Right.
But and what I meant to say was that we investigate them now instead of just being something that you see every now and then. So it just kind of seems like it's I've done it all my life.
Right. I remember before I used to pray that they wouldn't come talk to me. Don't bother me.
Right?
But now when we're on the investigation, I'm like, come talk to me.
If you can, I don't know. Sorry, we were discussing about calling Miss Vera back in. I think her Skype crashed or something. But um, but yeah, it's really strange that we run around trying to talk to spirits now. But I mean, hey, we got to do something. And this upcoming investigation is it's going to be a strange one, really active, and so we may as well get prepared. Uh, so has anybody in the chat room have any more questions? Now, Trista, you'll have to keep an eye on that for me because I can't see it that well. What is that noise, y'all?
It's 8 o'clock.
Hey, we know what
You said it's 8 o'clock, Lord.
we'll keep going, and here in a few minutes we're gonna take a little bit of a break and pay the bills and maybe listen to a song or two and let everybody get up and regroup a little bit, and maybe maybe some folks will ask some questions while we're going to break. And so Laura.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry we got cut off a while ago. I know that you haven't been with us just a short period, and you haven't been to any investigations yet with us. What do you look to bring to the group during these investigations, and do you think that you're gonna really like doing this? I don't know if you've ever done this before.
Well, I've not been with a group before, but I've done what you call ghost hunting before.
Right.
I really enjoy it. I do. I've always loved the supernatural, and I've had lots of experiences all throughout my life. So I mean, I've been around it forever. And it used to scare me. It used to scare me a lot. It doesn't bother me like it did.
Oh, I got you. Now that you've gotten older and kind of learned to recognize things, it's not so bad, right?
Yeah, and plus, I've had to deal with things that happen with me every time I get around it
Uh-huh.
because I start getting really anxious, and then I start feeling, different things and everything else. So I get these feelings, and I know, when something's happening. It,
Right.
it's crazy.
Now, have you had that all your life? I mean, have you been able to do that all your life?
Yes.
I got you.
And I could not. I couldn't stand it when I was younger because I would just be like I couldn't deal. But I always thought it was my anxiety until I started researching, and I noticed certain things about what goes on, and I figured out what it was.
Right. Well, at least you kind of come to terms with it then, and
Oh yeah, it took a while.
instead of it controlling you, you control it now, right?
I'm learning how to do that. It's still pretty new on trying to learn how to completely control it, when to shut it off, and or when not to let it bother me.
I got you. Now, are you originally from Alabama?
I was born and raised here.
Born and raised in Alabama. Got you. Um, so when you were a little kid, though, you had instances where, um, I mean, did you see spirits or?
I did. I saw my first one when I was about 13.
Oh,
Um, but before that, we had other things happening um, that revolved around a family member forever, ever since she was born. So it had started off then, and I was about 11 at that time. Um, but I remember little bits and pieces of when I was really, really young. I was scared to death out of this one house that we lived in. I would not stay in a room because I knew there was a ghost in there, and nobody believed me. So I refused to go into that room. And I lived there for at least 7 or 8 years.
yeah. Cool. Um, Trista, are you still with us?
I am.
Okay. I'm sorry. I had a thought and everything kind of went. Um, well, that's cool. Now, Tiegra, which is actually part of our group as well. She is your niece.
Yes, and she is the one that um, I've had dealings with her whole life. She's very open and honest about it, and she'll tell anybody and everybody.
Gotcha. Um, hmm. Well, that's cool. Yeah, Tiegra, she's a nice lady. I know when we first met her, she applied for the group, and of course we approved her on the group, but she couldn't really do a lot at the time in her condition. And
Yeah.
She was 7 months pregnant and told me she was going to go to poly jail with us.
there's three
And
She
flights.
wanted to.
She was having false labor pains. I was like, 3 flights of stairs. I'm trying to tell y'all.
3 flights of stairs in the dark.
No,
Oh,
no.
She wanted to go so bad.
you know, whenever I was in the fire service and stuff, um, I had the privilege to ride an ambulance and help people and some children. And uh, I didn't want to do that again. Whenever they were talking about her coming to Folly Jail, I had this sight in my head that she's going to start up those steps and I'm going to have to deliver another child.
I'm gonna help with that. No problem.
I'm sure you could, Vera, since you work in labor and delivery.
Yes, yes.
It wouldn't
Had
have
to
been any
catch my
different
share.
it wouldn't have been any different if she would have been there or at the hospital because she didn't have any medication. She did it all herself.
Wow.
But it
Good.
would have been us helping her do it.
Yeah, exactly. She'd have been
That's
screaming. her head off.
kudos.
She just waits tonight when Vera's at work.
That's
It
right.
was just a little too chilly there. That's all. She didn't need to deliver out there in that cold.
Oh, no.
Right.
Well, we had enough beds to put her in. I mean,
That's right.
Not very comfy ones, though.
hey, we get to sleep in those again this coming year.
That's right.
I'm bringing a foam pad.
Just a little used.
And you need to know what Shawana did in her special cell at the jail.
Oh, no, we don't. We don't
No.
need to know that. No.
I want somebody to sleep on the third floor with me this time instead of me being up there all by my lonesome.
Teresa's gonna go up
Well,
there.
almost all by my lonesome.
No, that's going to be Shawana.
Okay.
I'm
Shawana,
gonna
you want
be
to
sick. Yeah, you know what,
stay
Miss
in that
Vera, I will sleep with you
cell?
any way you want to.
Oh,
And I'll
yay.
leave my
We
pajamas
can
on for
stay
you,
in that
Miss Vera.
cell across the hall. I want to stay in that cell across the hall, the one that they pried open and got somebody out of.
Oh, yeah, Aberdeen cell.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little different though. Teresa or Stan, why don't we, y'all tell them about why it's going to be a little different this year because we have a family member.
Yes, we are. We're expecting J.W. Mann's grandson. He was 8 years old when his grandfather died in the jail, and he's going to be coming there, and he's going to be bringing some items belonging to J.W. Mann, and he's going to be telling us a little bit
Talk
about.
about a trigger.
He's going to be telling us a little bit about his grandfather and his grandmother, and it's just going to be exciting. I don't want to give everything away, though.
Right. Hey, Trista,
Yes, sir.
I hate to interrupt, but can you show everybody how to get to the chat room, or tell everybody how to get to this chat room?
That would be good.
The way I did it is you hit the like button underneath it, and then you sign in. Like, I just clicked signed in with my Facebook, and it put me right on there. And then right underneath, where you see the wavy lines, you can see the chat room underneath it.
Now, if you have the little player in the bottom, you click on the little bubble.
Right.
That'll also take you to the chat room.
Oh, that's the easy way.
Alrighty.
Go figure. I do things the hard way around here.
Yeah, I do too, 2 or 3 times, and then I figure out, wait a minute, stupid, that was the way to do that.
Right.
So I do that too. So don't feel alone. Yeah, somebody had asked how to get to the chat room.
I still can't figure out how to get on there.
All right. Well, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go to break, and when we go to break, maybe Trista, you can message Laura and whoever's not in the chat room. Y'all just let us know who needs to get in the chat room,
Right.
and we'll get you there somehow.
Okay, I will attempt.
I will do that, definitely.
Okay. Well, we're going to go to break. Y'all bear with us, and when we come back, we'll have a word from our sponsor, and we're going to go pay a few bills and listen to a couple songs. So y'all just rest a few minutes.
Go
And
get you something to drink. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we're gonna have some more members joining us right after the break too.
Okay.
I think Michael's coming.
Really?
Are we on the air? Or are we off the air?
We are on the air.
Oh, hey.
Are you looking for web design, press releases, blog posts, product descriptions, academic writing to cheat in class, social media marketing, and even logo design? Don't worry, there's a lot more, but I'm not going to list them right here. You need to visit Arden Marketing Enterprises at arden-ent.com. That's ARDEN-ENT.com. Or if you would like to speak personally to the owner of Arden Marketing Enterprises, call Teresa Fikes at 334-648-1214. Again, Teresa Fikes at 334-648-1214. Get on it.
Close your eyes, give me your hand, darling. Do you feel my heart beating? Do you understand? Do you feel the same? Am I only dreaming? Is this burning an eternal flame? I believe it's meant to be, darling.
your telephone been ringing while you're dancing in the rain? Wild boys wonder where is glory, where is all you angels? Now the figureheads of hell, and lovers war with arrows over secrets they could tell. They tried to tame you, looks like they'll try again. Wild boys never losing. Wild boys never chose this way. Wild boys never close your eyes. Wild boys always shine. Wild boys never losing. Wild boys never chose this way. Wild boys never close your eyes. Wild boys always. Wild boys never losing. Wild boys never chose this way. Wild boys never close your eyes. Wild boys always. Wild boys never losing. Wild boys never chose this way. Wild boys never close your eyes. Wild boys always. Wild
Hey everybody, welcome back to Wiregrass Talk. We're sitting here pretty much introducing you to our members of the group, the ones that we're able to reach on the phone. Tonight we've got one of our coolest members, Shawana Coleman. She's here with us.
Hey.
She likes talking with us, so we're gonna talk with her.
Okay, well, thank you.
Shawana, how old were you when you had your first paranormal experience?
Well, Trista, since I'm only 21 right now, I can remember stories, really, being that I grew up with a mother that believed in the supernatural and paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
I remember growing up in a house in Mobile, Alabama, and our ghost was called Spectre and Marty. There was two of them for years. And they were just there. Now, I can't remember a whole lot about them, but the funny part is my mother and my siblings do, and the things that they would do. And because I was 4 and 5, and my memory's shot now because I'm only 21 times.
Right.
So it was at a young age. She always made it okay to see things. It was never restricted. It was never a bad thing. It was never, you didn't see that. Or don't tell nobody that because you're crazy.
Wow.
Life and going to school and the society is what teaches that. It teaches that's not the normal. But how do you know it's not the normal? It has to be the normal because it's every day.
Right.
And for people that come at me with the Bible and not getting off on that, the Bible speaks of spirits and demons.
Right.
So I have to, when it is presented to me, I have to put the whole table out there instead of making it convenient for someone to bring anything to me. Listen, they're very real.
Right. That's right. We moved up here. I want to say I was around 9, and we moved in with my grandparents. And We moved up here and everybody had experiences in this house but me. Like I could feel the energy, you can feel somebody staring at you when there ain't nobody there. And my granddaddy swore he didn't believe in it. There was nothing in that house, but if you left and he was there by himself, when you got home, he was on the porch. He don't believe in it, but he ain't gonna play with it either, I guess.
Right. Can you blame him?
No, sir, not at all.
Right.
Adult, get out.
Right. There was a guy, from what I heard, he actually hung himself in her house, and she still had the noose from the guy in her attic. So,
Oh.
yeah. Yeah, that's not asking for it at all.
Talk about a trigger object.
Exactly.
Look, okay then.
Shawana, you ain't got no nooses hanging around, are you?
I'm not going to say it on live TV. Not live radio. I'm not going to say that. Absolutely not. I got edible handcuffs. So Stan, I'm not the one to ask questions like that.
Why would you want to eat handcuffs?
You'd be surprised what you could do with those. But anyway.
You never know when somebody's going to chain you up and leave the house.
Right.
Don't even go there.
Is that anything like Velcro? I mean, they use Velcro for that.
It's just, I'll say this, okay? I love to have a good time. I love to joke and enjoy my family, which is what we are at We're Paranormal Group. But I want to also stress that it is very serious what we do, especially when it comes to children. And I say a call out to parents that when you think your kids are seeing imaginary friends, or that maybe they want to put your kids on a pill, why don't you just call us first? Let's just see, because we believe in the unbelievable. We're there.
Absolutely.
And all of us at some point had some kind of experience that somebody should have put us away a long time ago. But we can laugh and joke because that's what family does when they get together. They miss each other. We love each other like any other family. We're going to laugh and joke. But when we hit your home or when you call us and we take an interview, our joke cease. We're very serious, especially when it comes to children.
Right.
And I'm sure Stan and Teresa, all of us really can stress on that. We do not play and we don't take quote unquote imaginary friends lightly. That's why we're here. And I say this to the parents because of a recent incident as far as my household. Don't be so quick to put your children on medication. Talk to them. I mean, it's free. The doctor costs you what, $50, $75, maybe $100, Teresa? How much is it? Sam? Teresa?
Yeah.
Free.
Oh, yep.
So just let us come and do what we do, because we all have kids and we're protectors. That's what we are. At the end of the day, we are protectors.
Right. Exactly. We take a lot of pride in what we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, people they look at, oh, you them Ghostbusters. Well, no, we're not Ghostbusters. We don't capture ghosts. We don't try to capture ghosts.
We are not ghost hunters.
We're not ghost hunters. We don't run around hunting this stuff,
Right.
When people have an issue, they call us, and then we try to go and work through their issues of what they believe that they're seeing or experiencing. And sometimes it's positive and sometimes it's not so positive. Right. And we make sure that we the family all the way until they say, okay, we are fine.
Right.
And and it's not just the paranormal stuff that we help with either. We put them in contact with people that help other needs and that type of thing. So it's all around good thing. We try to help people in all aspects of it.
Right. We do a lot of research too. We do not take any of this lightly. We want to learn as much as possible before we get there.
Exactly. And we do these historical places like Cahaba, we want to help the Alabama Commission for the historical uh, buildings and towns and stuff like that.
Raise awareness, like for Palm Jail, know that that's a bit of their history. That what some of the people went through during that time.
Hello?
You still there?
I'm going out.
Uh-oh.
I think Teresa
Um,
might have gone out.
You can't hear me?
You're breaking
Oh,
up a
Teresa,
lot.
you sound like you're underwater, baby.
uh,
You hear me now?
It's still really bad.
hold on. Let me check it out, y'all. Y'all talk. Let me check it out.
Okay. Shawana,
Oh,
where
okay.
would you like to investigate?
Um, I would definitely like the boys' home, and the reason in Mariana, and the reason I say that is because being part of such a passionate group of people,
Right.
mothers, grandmothers, and we all love children. At the end of the day, we want to help this side and the other side, but we want to know their story. We want to know we we don't want to know the horrible part because as mothers, you don't want to think about that as a parent.
Right, right,
But since you did that to those babies, let us expose you. That's what
right,
we want to do. That's what we want to get to nitty gritty. Me and you and Amanda and Mike, all of us. We just want to expose the truth for what it is.
right.
And we've been on some phenomenal investigations. It's just if I had to say a place for me, I would definitely say either the boys' home where everything is, we haven't been opened up, or anything dealing with a family or a child that needs to
Right,
just be explained.
right. I think having their story put out there would help the spirits out too.
I agree. I
You know,
agree.
a lot of them that
Especially when
might
you're
be the
dealing
only thing that they want is just to be heard.
right. And really, like Stan and Teresa, that's their thing as far as in a more business or professional type thing where there's a large number of stuff that goes on, and we ain't gonna ever get a better researcher than Teresa. That's just not
Right.
gonna ever
I
happen.
agree. I
She is
agree.
the bomb.com, and if anybody say anything against her, okay, another person is gonna show up, and I'm not gonna say that, but if Teresa don't say it, it's not gonna be done. She writes it in stone. But the
Right.
great thing is I know the question was, what would I like to investigate? I can about touch and agree and say we all have a passion to want to help those people, especially children, who are they wonder what in the hell happened to them?
Right.
What in the world? How did my life had to end like this?
Yep.
I'm so that's just where I'm at.
Yep. I think we all want to go there.
Absolutely.
I know Michelle she's like, if you get there, I'm there. She's really excited about it.
But that's what Trista, that's what separate us from a lot of I'm not gonna say well, that separates us from a lot of investigations as far as you see on TV, because
Right.
it's a passion for us. It's not a job.
Right.
We do this because of our passion. We don't get paid for this.
Absolutely not,
And
not at
uh,
all.
we're not here for the spotlights. It doesn't matter if 14,000 viewers show up or if nobody's there but us. This is what we do for our passion, and we do this to help the people who needs us, who have quietly suffered in in silence because they're taught, well, you're different, you're crazy, you can't be like this, you can't be like that. But
Right.
if they wanted to get religious, it's been this way since the Bible.
Right. I agree.
anytime.
You still here?
Yeah. Can y'all hear me okay now?
Yes,
Yeah.
honey. You.
Okay.
I can.
Uh-oh. I can hear you.
So y'all can hear us okay.
Yep.
I can hear you.
What about me?
Hey.
Okay. All right.
We're sharing the same Skype.
Right.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like a
It's,
little bit of echo, but I think it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
um, so, to add into what you were saying, Shawana, those incidences where those children were involved, that burns a negative into the history of this world. Um,
Absolutely.
any time that there's a child that has to suffer or die an agonizing death or anything like that, that just tears me to the core. And if I could do anything to show any type of good light on those situations, that's exactly what we strive for.
Right.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and us running down doing investigations in certain places and stuff like that. People ask me sometimes, why do you want to investigate that? Why do you want to investigate that? Well, it has. One guy asked me, "What do you want to get on TV?" Absolutely not. I don't want to be on TV. I'm not doing this to be on TV, and probably never will. Um, I want to do this to help people living and dead. I do know that there is another realm out there, um, and we've seen it. I mean, we've actually had contact with it, and those people need help just like living people.
Yes. Yes.
So that's a nut back to why Web Paranormal Group was formed, um, and that is one of the main reasons. Is that when we help people, we help the living and the dead,
Right.
or at least we do our best to.
That's
So
our goal.
yeah, exactly. So it may get a little rocky sometimes, but um, we've learned to climb up on top of the stones and stand there.
Right.
So Miss Shawana, do you have anything else?
Um, I don't know. Do y'all need me to say something? I mean, do y'all have any questions for me?
Do you want to say something? Um, you were going to go to Poly Jail with us this year, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay. When the last time when you were at Poly Jail with us, um, could you detect or tell if the energy within that jail, was it some of it negative, or was there like bad spirits there, um, or do you think that maybe it's just something like those men and women that were in that jail, their lives also burned a etching into this world of the treatment that they went through in that jail, and the things that happened, especially with J.W. Mann burning to
Right.
death in jail, Aberdeen being treated the way he did. So, do you think that that jail stays active like it is just simply because those prisoners, their their um, livelihoods were burned into that building? Do you think that's a fair assumption or something like?
I would say yes, and I would go on to elaborate that Polygel has many um, different faces. It has many different hauntings.
Right.
It's not just one haunting, as we all know that there's several different. I believe that some prisoners there were treated so bad and died so horrifically that their death is imprinted in time. Um, I could go much deeper in that, but that would take much longer than the show. I also believe that um, there are some negative energy there because of just the evil treatment that was there. That it was, there were some men who were mistreated there, but not everybody. But anybody that ever visited the jail has to understand, even though it's 3 stories, it's a very small jail compared to jails. It's not enough to house thousands of inmates or even really hundreds of inmates because they would be standing on top of each other. You couldn't rest. Imagine you don't have no air, you don't have nowhere to bathe, you don't have nothing good to eat, and coming from an African American point of view, you wasn't treated like you would be if you were a white man. So if you were put in the back and things were done differently, you had a horrific way to look at stuff. But when I went to Paulie jail, I was flirtatious, as you can see on the video. And I think whether he was white, black, Indian, or Asian, Muslim, whatever the hell he was, I think he flirted with me back. I think there were men that were there who were there wrongfully, and there were men that were there that was justified. And see, it falls back on that thing that says it just takes one bad apple to spoil the whole bunch. Everybody that was in there, the majority of them deserved to be there, but it takes just a few spirits who did not deserve that, who did not want to be there or shouldn't be there. So when it comes to Paulie jail, I think that there's a lot going on there, and Miss Vera's pictures alone prove that, regardless if I said anything, because she wasn't looking for nothing.
Right.
I mean, if anybody wants to know the story, then look for her. Them pictures is something else. And as far as me, when I got off work, I was tired. But the jail itself speaks for itself. It is a live embodied structure that has so many miraculous stories that even we don't know as we're a paranormal group. And I think that over time, every time we go, we're going to get something. Somebody's going to be able to step forth and tell a story, because the way we handle things, we always ask for permission. We never just butt up in anything, and they're able to relate to us, and they're able to, to speak to us. Look how very clear they came to Miss Vera. Miss Vera was just, Stan, wasn't she a tag along?
Yes, at the time she was a tag along.
Yeah. Look, she had the most amazing evidence of everybody. So I think the more we come, and this, I could be wrong, but I think the more the spirit will be comfortable with us. I think the more they'll start attaching stuff to us, just like the people of the town, that they will be comfortable with telling their story. And that's why we're there. We're never anywhere to call me home. We're there to tell the story.
Exactly.
Can I tell you what my thoughts were when I was taking those pictures?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Please do.
Okay, everybody was doing their last walkthrough and everything, and the sun had just basically come up, and I was looking out those windows, and I was thinking, wow, what it must have been like to be a prisoner here, and this is the only view you got every morning.
Right.
And I was taking those pictures.
Amazing.
Wow.
So I don't know if that opened it up to let them respond back or what, but it was pretty creepy when I opened that thing.
It might have been creepy, Miss Vera, but that was the most profound evidence that no one can argue with that. No, nobody.
I've had probably a dozen people take a look at that, and everybody has come back that it's the same thing. And
because they want to debunk it, don't they, Sam? But they can't.
Right.
Right.
So far. So I can't explain it. I've tried every way from Sunday. And I've had some of the best in the field look at it. Of course, there is no expert in the paranormal field.
Right.
So, just some that's more experienced. So I had some of those guys take a look at it, and they can't explain it by any means. They couldn't even come close to giving me an idea of what it was. So, Miss Vera, you've done an awesome job.
Yay! Well, thank you. It was by accident.
Hey,
That's usually when you get the best evidence, is when you don't mean to.
exactly. It was all, we all worked towards the same thing, and maybe that was the end result of what we were all trying for. And just so happened that you were in the right place at the right time and captured it. And maybe when we go back in October, we're going to capture something again. And who knows, Miss Vera, it may be you doing it again.
Right.
I'll do my best. I'll keep my mind open when I'm up there.
Oh yeah. Well, Miss Trista, it is 8:48. Do you have some last minute things that you want to say?
Well, give me just 1 second here.
Okay. Take all the time you need.
I'm a little bit of a slacker. We did, okay, I guess I don't know.
We did what?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I do think that with the polyjail investigation, the reason why Miss Vera caught the evidence that she did is because she said she's laying there on the bed, looking out the window, and thinking, this must be the only time they got to see the sunrise. And that's basically what empathy is. When you're an empath, you have these instances that pop up like this, and sometimes you mean it to happen, sometimes you don't. And when that happens, then you're more likely to get things that are not ordinary to come to you, like the images that Miss Vera got, because she was more, I guess, on the same wavelength at the time from what they would have been at that very instance. And so she kind of fell into their realm a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes any sense or not.
Yes, it does.
If you don't mind me to elaborate,
Right.
and I was also going to say, in a spiritual realm, like when I do the sages and cleansing, her intentions was to make it available for someone to show themselves. When you go in and cleanse the home, you have to set your intentions. You have to set your intentions so that it is correct with what you're doing. You pray a little bit and you say, this is what I'm doing. That so when she put forth to God, the universe, that this is what she wanted, this is a absolute perfect example of putting forth your intentions before you do anything. Because if she had not said that, then she probably would not have gotten that. But that's what she put out there.
Right.
I agree.
You have to line it up with what you want.
It's like she mixed herself with the spirits that were there and let them know, hey, I'm here experiencing the same thing you did. This is the view that you had. And, if you stop and think about it, it's probably some of the saddest feelings that you'll ever feel. It doesn't matter what this person done.
Right.
They're sitting there away from their family. They're sitting there staring out, and they don't really know what's going to happen that day.
Right.
And whenever hideous things like that occurred there, etched themselves in time and areas that in that building, it does leave a negative mark on it. So when we go in, we try to come up with the positive side of this. We don't want those people's memories lost.
Right.
We don't want the hideous things that went on there lost. People need to know that you know that there's people there that had missed their families that probably didn't do very much. And
Right.
so, if you stop and think about it, it's really sad.
But there, on another note, we've interviewed people who were inmates there, and they were released, and they never got in trouble again. So I would say that Palm Jail actually did them some good.
I agree.
Right.
Some feedback.
Whatever the reason that they are incarcerated, they're still a human being. They still feel what we feel. They still live, with the emotions and the thoughts that we do, as if we were there. We weren't even locked up. We weren't in the jail. We're just there visiting.
Right.
But they live this day in and day out, and then day in and day out for however long it takes, and some of them for the rest of their lives.
Right.
You have to take into perspective that this isn't just a 1 month thing. They lived through this and then they left. They never left.
Right. And a lot of them, that's all they knew.
Exactly.
What happens whenever you're in a situation? This is all that you've known most of your life. This is your norm.
Right.
So a lot of them probably hung around that way for that reason.
Right.
And
It's the same with the living people. A lot of them, they spend so long in jail they can't imagine a life where they're not there. And for some of them, I guess you've lived there so long and this is the only thing you're really scared of what's going to happen next.
yeah,
Right.
change doesn't work too well in situations like that.
Right.
Teresa, do you have anything to say? Anything else? No? Laura, does anybody else, Miss Vera, y'all have anything else to say before because we got like 6 minutes. And,
I can sing.
I don't know. I'm gonna.
okay. Well, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and end everything up, and I'll go ahead and let everybody know that next week's show, maybe we won't be so stammering about with things, and maybe our connection will be a little bit better. This is our first show, so y'all kind of bear.
Yay! And we did good. Yay!
I think we did good too.
Yes.
And I'm very proud of my crew. Y'all, thank y'all so much. Miss Trista, thank you for being my
Yes.
co-host.
Yay, Trista.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Y'all did great.
I wanted to let everybody know that next week's show, we're going to have some of the Voices Carry crew. Terry Todd, Mary Curion is going to be our guest. And they're going to have a lot of insight to some of this stuff. Maybe they can show us how it's done and tell us what we've done wrong. But
Right.
so we are tripping along. But at least we're here, and it's just going to get better each time. So everybody just kind of bear with us.
Can I just give a shout out, Sam?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Shawana, and I just want to give a shout out. I think we have a phenomenal group. I want to say that when it comes to Stan and Teresa, they are always on call. They do a phenomenal job of following up. When it comes, and I said this earlier, when it comes to research, ain't nobody gonna be able to touch Teresa. We have two great leaders in our group, and I just thank y'all for helping us and being where you guys are. I thank Tristan for doing the role she doing. I thank Michael, Matt, Amanda, Miss Judy. Miss Judy know I love her. Our guys as far as Dustin and Zachariah and Michelle. I'm so very happy and proud to be part of a family And I want everybody that's listening to know that if there's a problem, you don't get just an investigation, you get a family.
Right.
We take hold of you as a family. We don't judge because we don't know. So if you call me, you call Stan, if you get a hold of anybody in the group, you got a hold of a family. We got each other's back. If Stan say yes, we all say yes. If Teresa say no, we all say no. If Michael say yes, we all say yes. So it's just we're all in this as a family. And I'm grateful to be part of a group that I can honestly say when I needed something, they showed up and we were all family. And y'all know I
Right.
talk a lot, so y'all have to tell me to be quiet.
Thank you, Shawana. That was awesome. That was awesome. Well, I want to thank Voices Carry Radio Network for having us on. Mr. Terry Todd,
Yay.
he's a great guy. We have a great lineup of shows on Voices Carry Radio Network. Monday night, we got Sweet Freakins with Heather Marie and Mystery.
Yay.
Tonight, from here out, it's going to be Wiregrass Haunts. Wednesday night, we have Voices Carry Radio with Terry Todd, Mary Curion. Thursday night's great show, Mysteries Explained with Becky Gideson and Dave Clark. Those guys are awesome. I would like y'all to come back and listen to us and kind of forgive us for our rambling around. And just please come back and listen to all the shows on Voices Carry Radio Network. We're just trying to make everything better. And to all the investigators that's out there, I would like to say, y'all be safe. That we have a lot of situations of things, and I agree with Terry Todd, the veil is getting way thin.
Right.
And we're
Amen.
going to run into situations more and more and more. So y'all be safe. And to all you upcoming investigators, please don't watch TV and go by some of the kooky stuff that goes on TV.
Amen.
It is a lot of that stuff will get you hurt or spiritually hurt. Also, if you go and investigate any place, make sure that you get permission.
Written.
Yeah, if you can get it written, it'll be awesome. And like we said earlier, we don't go anywhere without permission. And we have to get permission from the owners. And I would say to y'all, make sure that you know who the owners are. So with that said, we're going to wish everybody a good night and invite y'all back here next week, 7 o'clock Central Time, right here at Wiregrass Haunts. And again, tune in to Voices Carry Radio Monday, Sweet Freakins, Tuesday, Wiregrass Haunts, Wednesday, Voices Carry, and Thursday is Mysteries Explained. Trista, thank you for your help. And
Thank you for letting me.
Absolutely. Y'all, this is Wiregrass Haunts. This is Stan Pikes, your host. Wishing y'all a great night, and we'll talk with you next week, okay?
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.